This video is going to be about fire, campfires, or cooking fires. So the very first thing I want to say about fire is be careful with it. Everyone's heard the old saying, fire is a good servant but a cruel master. So here's some advice about not burning the forest down. Don't light a fire if the 30-30-30 rule is happening, or crossover. So that's a way that wildland firefighters can forecast bad forest fire conditions. If the temperature is above 30 degrees Celsius, if there's winds gusting above 30 kilometers an hour, and if the relative humidity is below 30%, don't have a campfire. It'll spread. It's very easy to spread in those conditions. I'm not sure why you would want to anyway if it was above 30 degrees. Like, who wants to sit by a fire in 30 degree heat and less than 30 degrees humidity? Always have your fire on inflammable material, like gravel, like we have here, and always have a bucket of water nearby. And we're 6 feet from the river too. So be careful with your fires. Don't build them too big either. So people have this innate connection with fire. Humanity, I mean everyone. It's critical to our evolution, and it's just something about staring at a campfire, caveman TV or whatever. I got a cousin, and he's studied anthropology a little, and he says that when we learned to make fire, or harness fire from lightning maybe, and we could cook meat, the protein helped our brains grow, and that's when we really became like Homo sapiens from Cro-Magnons or Neanderthals. So fire is crucial to the human experience, especially for outdoors people. It's, we cook our food on it whenever we can, and there's nothing like being cold and wet and then lighting a fire and drying out. So we've definitely, there's something special about sitting by a campfire for sure. One of the best tinders that you can find on the west coast is cedar shavings. So western red cedar is very plentiful, and it's dry and it's full of oil or something. It burns really well. So you just take your belt knife and shave it. So once you got all your cedar shavings, a big pile of them like that, then you're ready to assemble the fire. The method, everyone's got a different way to do it. The method I like to use is the teepee and then the log cabin around it. So the teepee burns really easily because the flames burn up, but it falls over and then usually just goes out. So if I build a log cabin around it, it falls over onto the log cabin and then keeps going. So got my shavings. I'm going to use my kindling that I batoned with my knife to make really small. I'm going to build a teepee structure, sort of. I think it's a good idea to put lots of wood for the teepee. Progressively bigger. So once I got it like that, time for the log cabin. Start with small pieces. progressively bigger. Then it's ready to light. I'm going to show you a cool technique to split wood if you don't have an axe. You can just use your knife. It's called batoning, and it looks like this. Just take your belt knife, and then you take your baton, another piece of wood, and you just smack it like that. And then just keep splitting the big piece into smaller pieces, just like that. Splitting wood with just a knife, batoning. So you gotta split wood, you find like big rounds. You bring an axe with you on canoe camping so you can split it into smaller pieces so you can burn it. This is cedar and it splits really easily and it's plentiful around here. So you just put it on the on your chopping block like that. Put your hand like this. Your hand like this so you don't chop any of your fingers off. And then I always like get it started and then I just split it once it's started like that. Two pieces of wood out of one. Once your fire is assembled, ready to light. That one went right out. So different species of wood burn differently. Cedar, for example, burns really quickly, but not for very long, and it doesn't make much heat. Hardwoods like alder or birch, they burn for a long time, but they're kind of hard to get going. So cedar is really good for starting the fire, and then a harder wood, Douglas fir, alder, birch, arbutus, they're really good for keeping the fire going. Always use dead wood though. Don't cut down trees and burn them or rip branches off and burn them. Just find, where I live, driftwood is really good. It's been baking on the beach in the sun, so it's nice and dry and it's dead. Never burn live wood. Always burn wood that's been dead for at least a year. Cedar to get it going, hardwood to keep it going. These are the tools that I bring on a canoe trip that help me light a nice campfire. So I bring my knife. I mean, that's just a generally useful tool. This one's really cool. It's a full tang, so it's not a folding knife, it's like a belt knife. So I can baton wood with it. It's just much more sturdy. I think a folding knife might break if I tried to baton kindling with it. And then I always bring a Swede saw. It's pretty lightweight. It's a lot of work to cut lengths of dead driftwood, like this one for example. It's a lot of work, but it's quieter than a chainsaw. And it doesn't use gas, just me. So Swede saw is useful. And then of course, an axe. And I like a heavier axe rather than a hatchet or a lighter axe. It just splits wood better, and I don't really mind the weight. It's being carried by the canoe anyway. So like a good long-handled heavy axe. Those are my campfire tools. This is my grandfather's knife. Pretty cool, eh? Pretty old knife. Gonna test out two different fire starters that I got at Canadian Tire. So this first one here, Extra Flame mini log fire starter, Alum Foo, and it says light the wrapper and that's it. Fast and powerful. So we'll see how that works. I'm just gonna put it underneath all these shavings. And then I'll build my little teepee around it, like I normally would. Okay. The other fire starter that I'm going to test is called Fire Sticks. Fire starter matches. Environmentally safe and waterproof. That's what they look like. So I don't know if these are matches or fire starter, but I guess I'll just lay a couple down on the shavings here. They come, I guess there's like two together. Maybe I'm supposed to break them apart. I don't know. So I guess I'll just make a teepee out of them? I don't know. Probably not. I think they're like matches. But whatever. We'll see. Maybe I'll do that one upside down. And then I'm going to do the same thing like I did on this one. So the science is accurate. Okay, so I got the mini fire log here and the fire sticks here, and I'm gonna light them with matches. And we'll see which one is more effective, the more effective fire starter. Whoa. Fire sticks are definitely more interesting to watch. Little explosions. I think they're supposed to be used like matches. The mini fire log though, it's definitely more of a steady, probably more durable fire. Alright, so I got a special treat, especial. This is called a Swedish Fire Log, or a Canadian candle, that's what my dad called it. I've never used one of these before, but you might have heard of them. It's like, you just make a bunch of cuts with a chainsaw, like pizza slices, and then I guess the thin, narrower part of the slice in the middle is supposed to burn and then slowly grow, and so this is supposed to like last a long time. I've never used one before, so this is an experiment. I squirted some fire starter down into the center, so it's not just natural, and I put some shavings there too, just so you know. I'm gonna light it with the fire sticks matches because they're cool. So here we go. So far, so good. So yeah, after about 5 minutes, the Swedish Fire Log or Canadian candle is working pretty good. I don't even think I had to use fire starter really. I think I probably could have just put some wood shavings in there and dropped a match in it, and it probably would have worked. So thanks Dave from Pit Meadows who gave me this thing. Works good. Okay, so everybody knows, well, pretty much everybody knows about LNT, which is leave no trace. So when it comes to your fire, you definitely got to leave no trace. I like to just sit and watch it burn out, because if you leave like half burnt, ugly pieces of wood in there, you know, it doesn't look good for the campsite. It's like not very aesthetically pleasing. So I like to sit and be introspective and watch as the logs turn to embers, and then the embers turn to ash, and eventually it's just completely out. And then when it is completely out, I make sure, obviously, so I take my bucket of water that I got out of the river and make sure it's completely out by dumping cold water on it. stir it around. Make sure you get every last hot ember. And then once you've stirred it around, douse it with cold water again. It doesn't hurt to give it a third stir. And maybe more water. I really don't want to start a forest fire. Once you've done all that, take the back of your hand and make sure it's cool to the touch. Yeah. Yep. Yep, cool. So thanks for watching my video about campfires. I just want to say again, most important thing, be careful with fire. Don't burn down the wilderness. Don't light huge fires. Don't light fires when the 30-30-30 crossover rule is going on. Always have a bucket of water nearby. You know, always have your fire on incombustible material, like this is a sandy beach. Please don't let your fire get out of control, and have stuff to put it out around. So there's lots of different ways to light a campfire. Lots of different methods of fires. I only showed you mine. Please show me yours. Just comment, put it in the comments, like, I want to know how you do it too. Like, that's how we learn, right? Like, exchanging information. My way is not the only way. I want to know your way. So in the comments there, tell me how you do it. I'm interested. Like, I got a cousin, his name's Cody, out in Chilliwack, big time Vedder River fisherman, even in the winter for steelhead. And he sent me a video of him and his buddies, and they had a really cool method. It was like a round, kind of like this one, but taller. And they, with a drill, like a wood drill, they drilled a hole sideways and a hole on top. So air could get in through the sideways hole and flame would come up the hole on top. And then they put some nails around the top and set a pot on it, and they could have like hot food and drinks by the river when they're fishing for steelhead in the wintertime. So lots of really cool ways of having a campfire. And I want to know them all, so tell me please. And again, thanks for watching my video. Make another one soon, I guess.